You know, in addition to this Mardi Gras YouTube series, I've published the Mardi Gras Guide magazine. I've done books about Mardi Gras and individual crews. But for the past several years, I've had the pleasure of working with the Fox 8 local First News team. And we've done quite a few features on Mardi Gras. And here's one of them I hope you might like. The super crew of Endymion always lives up to its motto, throw till it hurts. 52 years after its beginning, it's become one of the most anticipated parades every year. But Captain Ed Muniz could have never anticipated how big it would become.
A lot of people who lived in the Gentilly Broad area, they didn't have any parade.
That's how it all started, a dream to bring a new parade to Gentilly. But it took persistence with the city leaders at the time.
I called somebody who knew Jimmy Fitz, and I asked him to get me an appointment because the Saturday was open.
Krewe had gone out of business, so Saturday, no parades.
No parade. I told Dan Kelly, who was at Carrollton at the time, and other people, we ought to really try and put something out in the Gentilly Broad area.
Persistence paid off. In 1967, Endymion, with 16 rented floats from the crew of Carrollton and 144 members, began a journey that would become a lifetime of memories for Muniz. But it wasn't until the crew of Bacchus hit the scene that Muniz knew he had to take his parade to the next level.
Their game was to try to change Mardi Gras in a better way, Bacchus's.
Yeah.
And they did it. And so I said, if we don't try and keep up with that, we're going to become small like these others and maybe not last.
And up the game they did. Muniz relied heavily on his background as a former promoter of teenage dancers and in radio to market his parade. Bringing in celebrities to draw crowds became key. In 1974, Muniz was able to get Doc Severinsen, the then leader of the Tonight Show band, to become his first guest celebrity.
Doc was a nice guy, wonderful musician. We hit it lucky, and he played, and we got good coverage on television and everything.
Every year after that, Muniz went after the big names in the entertainment world. In the 70s, it was actor Cheryl Ladd or singer Wayne Newton.
These people attract other people.
Sure.
And being in the radio business, it was very easy to contact.
In the 80s, singer Dolly Parton came to town for Endymion. Muniz says he remembers warning Parton that sometimes people along the street might expose themselves to try to get her attention.
She was sitting in the back of a limousine going out to the formation area. And I said, oh, and I remember, they're not just doing it at you, they just do that at Mardi Gras and all. And she says, well, you know, I'm going to tell you something, Ed. And she had some kind of dress on that was so big, a big bouffant thing. And she said, oh, let me tell you something, Ed. If they tell that to me, I just might do it.
Endymion became bigger and bigger, adding larger and more elaborate floats and moving the extravaganza party to the Superdome, where tens of thousands of people could scramble to get tickets every year. Ed says running the crew took work, but it was something that became one of the loves of his life.
There's a lot of people that don't want to be heads of carnival clubs. It don't pay a salary or anything. And a lot of people just, they want to ride the float, throw me something. There's nothing like Mardi Gras anywhere in the world. Nowhere in the world. And to think that a lot of people started this parade and got as big as it did is unbelievable.
In New Orleans, Arthur Hardy, Fox 8 Local First.